Yeah. No lie, this morning woke up kinda heavy. Thoughts flooded my brain, almost broke a levee. Let me get steady, let me center myself. Before I do for anybody else, let me consider myself. Check my mental health, self. How's your heart? How you feeling today? What's your capacity for humans? What's your ceiling today? Before you think about them bills, what you building today? Find your flow, don't let them stones they throw get in your way. Weights on my shoulders, let me go to the gym. Let me dig in a good book. Let me find me some gems. Let me replant myself, yeah. Let me water my stem, relay my root chakra. I know that it's been running on E, I've been fuming. Know the vibes golly, seem like they forgetting that I'm human. Assuming that I don't need solitude and silence. Before I choose violence, I meditate and pray. I went for a walk, I heard the elders say, set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind. I heard the elders say, set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind. I heard the elders say, be still, be free, be real. Your life can change any minute, just let time reveal. I know they watching, waiting for me to fall off. The job saying I ain't got permission to call off. Well, I ain't going to work today, I'm working on me. People calling, I ain't talking phone, I'm D&D. She like, when am I gonna see you? When I'm done seeing me. It's easy for people to gaslight you if you out here living on E. It's time to fill up. You gotta deconstruct to reconstruct. It's time to build up. I took some hard blows, Lord knows, time to heal up. No more looking down, nah, chest out, chin up. Life been moving so fast, before I crash, let me slow down and go on the fast. I'm passing on that old, leaving that in the past. They ask, hey, where you been? I ain't seen you in the men. Yeah, I been on my dean, going deeper within, gotta evolve. Don't take it personal, you're more than welcome to get involved. If they ain't what you want, our connection, it might dissolve. What's in the way becomes the way. I went for a walk today, I heard the elders say, set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind. I heard the elders say, set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind. What's that? I heard the elders say, peace, be still my people. Let yourself feel, that's how you heal my people. Pollution in the food, they trying to kill my people. Health is real, wealth is how you build my people. Let's keep it real, my people. It's getting really scary. No more gang banging. We need a military, black missionary. I'm a visionary. I see my people rising. Every time I sit in silence. Set yourself down and talk to God. Heavenly Father, tell him what's on your mind. I pray for my generation. Set yourself down and talk to God. I pray for my people. Tell him what's on your mind. I pray my people rise. Set yourself down and talk to God. I pray we free our minds. Tell him what's on your mind. I pray we find peace inside. Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
You are being invited to remember, rebuild, and rise. This is a movement. This is the journey back home, back to the body, back to the land, back to the wisdom of our ancestors, whispered in the wind and wove into every root, rhythm, and ritual. For too long, we've been taught to outsource our survival, to beg broken systems for healing, to look outward for worth, to forget the sacred in our blood, our breath, our birthright. But now we return. This work is not entertainment. It's a blueprint, a bomb, a battle cry. It's for the ones who know deep down that healing is not a luxury. It's a mandate. It's for the ones who felt the system crumble beneath their feet and chose to plant something anyway. It's for the ones who know that wellness is war and our joy is rebellion. The body is the altar. Grow something, eat free, reclaim the bag. Each episode is a door. Each ritual is a key we walk through together, reclaiming our food, our finances, our freedom, and our breath. This isn't a return to what was. This is a return to who we've always been. You'll learn, you'll unlearn, you'll get uncomfortable, and you'll get free. Coming home isn't always gentle. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it burns, but every ember is sacred. Every step brings you closer to the altar that is you. This is for the healers, the growers, the builders, the warriors. This is for the ancestors watching. This is for the babies coming. This is for the right now, while the world is shifting and spirit is calling roll. Welcome to the journey back home. We don't just survive here. We remember, we restore, we rise.
Spirit, wisdom, ancestors who walk before me, holy guides who see what I cannot see yet. I call you forward, sharpen my sight, steady my steps, strengthen my no. Bless my guest. Let no charm, no title, no illusion blind me. Let no loneliness or longing drive me into traps. Strip away the pretty lies. Expose the hidden truth. Help me choose alignment over aesthetic. Help me move in clarity, not in confusion. I trust what my spirit sees, even when my mind hesitates. I honor the warning. I follow the peace. I walk covered. I walk wide. I walk proud. Ashe. Welcome to your journey home. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your journey home, episode 6. Tonight, we are finalizing the series of why the altar matters. Okay, we're going to wrap everything up. But before we get to the conclusion of this, let's go ahead and go on how this journey started, right? This journey was specifically about why the altar still matters. And in that, we learned that the altar still matters for protection, for guidance, for healing, and for strength, right? In this journey, the question was asked, what is an altar really? We came to the conclusion, or maybe I came to the conclusion, and hopefully you came to the conclusion, that the altar is where spirit gets a seat at your table and you get a seat at theirs. Also, as we continue down this journey, an altar represented a covenant, a safe house, a war room. Y'all remember we talked about this, right? And also a meeting ground. Yes. An altar also is rooted in what you're surrounded in what you're covered in, and what you're guided. As we went further along this journey, we even talked about how to build an altar. The real one, not the fake one. Remember that, y'all? We talked about how the altar has many parts, how you're going to make the foundation in a sacred space, right? How you're going to have water, which is the element of light. How you're going to have light and having it sacred with candles and so forth. Remember this? And also how we can guide and talk to our ancestors through the altar by having pictures, by writing their name on a piece of paper. Remember that? And how we can have ancestors in spirit. They could be your blood ancestors, or they could be a spiritual mentor, a chosen family member, or so forth. In addition, we talked about how to feed the altar, right? How to give certain offerings. You can feed it with certain nutritions, fruit. You could do coffee. You could do a glass of whiskey, right? Even flowers. And then we learned about sacred tools, crystals, incense, flowers, bones, and how to set the atmosphere with different scents, right? Palo Santo, incense, sage, essential oils. Remember, you can get those things at Shamaka Essentials, okay? So then we went over the rules. You're going to build your altar with love, tend it with consistency, speak the space, speak with honesty, respect the space, and show up with humility in your heart. Remember, spirit doesn't need you to be perfect. Spirit needs presence. And as we continued on our journey, we learned how to connect with our altar, right? How to take care of it in the morning, how to have connection with the evening, how to do a weekly cleanup as well. And how, if you need to have the extra strength and power to face the world, that you can use your altar to call on the council. Y'all remember that? And also building a relationship with this altar was very vital. Remember, the altar is your war room. Your altar is your spiritual refueling station. And the altar is also your command center in chaos. Y'all remember that? The thing that I want you to always remember, and I think I'm going to offer to you that you take home with you, remember you're an altar too. It's just not having this in a space. You yourself are an altar. You're a breathing prayer. You're a living offer. Your heart is your flame. Your blood is the sacred water. Your breath is the insect rising. And your spirit is the doorway through which the ancestors can travel. You are the altar. So this evening, we're going to go into the conclusion part of this. And we are going to talk about discernment, y'all. Discernment when it pertains to the altar. We're going to be sharpening our discernment, our spiritual BS detector. You feel me? So let's go ahead and get into that, okay? So let's be real. In this year, 2025 isn't just noisy, it's deafening. Every platform, every feed, every timeline is packed full of healers, teachers, guides, leaders, and movements, all claiming to have your best interests at heart, all claiming they carry light. But here's the truth: Spirit whispers if you're listening. Not every flame burns pure. Not every light leads you home. And not every voice speaking spiritual language speaks from spirit. Discernment is no longer an option. It's your armor. It's your filter. It's your survival kit. So you might ask yourself, right, what really is discernment then, D? Well, let me break this down. Discernment is not about judging others with a bitter spirit, okay? It's not that. It's not about being paranoid, suspicious of everyone, or closed off from connection. Discernment is sacred. It's a yes, no compass. It's the whisper behind the noise. It's the gut check. hmm That gut check when someone's energy don't match their mouth, and it's their way your spirit tenses, gets tense or softens before your brain even catches up. It's spirit's early warning system built into you by your ancestors. So you don't walk blind into battles you weren't meant to fight. Discernment is knowing the difference between a teacher and a trap. What is discernment really? Let me repeat that. Discernment is knowing the difference between a teacher and a trap. So go ahead and take all that in right now. We took the journey that led us to discernment. Now we're learning what discernment really is. We're going to go more into about discernment right after this message.
Just pull up the Love Palace. Ain't no cap here. It's facts and feels. D and KELLZ on the mic. We talking ships, all kinds. Pull up and unpack. Listen, Trey. Friendships that held me down through the struggle. Companions who dipped when I stepped out the bubble. Family ties that tug, some tight, some frayed. But we lay it all out, let the truth get played. No judgment, just lessons on velvet chairs. We speak from the gut, raw love, strip back. Got a steed, got that low like sage and wind. Queen calls, hit the mic, truth spilling again.
Ships, we talking, we walk it. No filters, just real. Love Palace, the spot where your soul can heal. All the ties, all those vibes, we let it drown. Lift ships up, never tear them down.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you got to see the episode of The Ships the other night. It was a good episode. If you didn't, you could go ahead and rewatch that here at the Love Palace, right? It was a good subject, and we are on every Tuesday. Me and Queen KELLZ, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by the Q&A. So come join us. So, before we left and went on that message break, I talked about what discernment really is. And discernment, as we said, is knowing the difference between a teacher and a trap. Okay? Make sure we have that understanding of what that discernment is. So, let's go into why discernment is your most crucial prep tool. Why is this a very crucial tool that you need? Well, without discernment, you just vibing blind. You vibing, but you ain't even seen nothing because you're blind without discernment. Following aesthetics instead of enlightenment. You're following the way. So this is how I view it. A lot of trends or spiritual things, I should say, are becoming trends. And people tend to follow that instead of the alignment of what the spiritual thing should be used for. Hence the altar. Mistaking charisma for character. So you do having discernment is going to make you know, because you can have a very spiritual charisma, and you're mistaking that the charisma for the character of the person. You're mistaking noise for knowledge. All that noise and yelling and talking out loud and just everything spiritual, everything this and that, it's a lot. You can without discernment, you can mistake the noise for knowledge. You can have all the altars in the world, all the prayers, all the crystals, all the stones, all the incense. But if you can't tell when spirit says no, you still getting played. Point blank, period. 2025 is going to require a new level of spiritual sobriety. No more getting caught up in pretty packing. It's different in 2025. We're almost done with this year. And have you seen how different this year has been? The different challenges, the different things that have occurred. No more following everybody who quotes a scripture, a post, and a meditation. You need to know in your own bones who is truly for you and who is not. This is why discernment is the most crucial prep tool. Yes, because it's going to help you distinguishing, knowing what's truly for you. Hey, I might not be for you. You go, you let your bones know, your intuition know what's for you and what is not. Remember that. Don't just take the one part. You're going to know what's for you, and also you're going to listen to for what is not as well. This is why discernment is a vital tool, especially in 2025. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back and start, and we're going to talk about how to strengthen the discernment muscle when we come back. All right?
Steps off, baby. This ain't just a vibe, it's a sanctuary. You just walked into the Love Palace. Welcome to a daily dose of D. Wrap yourself in satin truth. This love ain't rushed, it's velvet smooth. Silk on your spirit, rose in your mouth. Let me show you what healing's really about. Ooh, she don't play with pleasure, no. Only pours it where it's earned. Let it burn slow. A daily dose of D. Let the love run deep and free. One touch and you'll believe. She's the calm, she's the heat, she's the peace you need. Here in the Love Palace, where even broken ships sail smooth. Anchor down, baby, daily dose of D. Your prescription to feel seen.
Welcome back, everybody. Make sure you come here at the Love Palace and get your daily dose of D Monday through Friday. Hit that notification button when you subscribe so you do not miss the episode of Daily Dose of D. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue this conversation of why the altar matters. In this concluding part, we're talking about discernment, right? So let's talk about now how to strengthen your discernment muscle, right? So if you think of a muscle, right? If you don't work out your muscle, what happens? Excuse me, it gets weak, right? You don't have the strength to do the things that you're supposed to. So we're going to talk about how to strengthen your discernment muscle. Discernment is just not a gift for the special few. It's a muscle every soul is born with. But you must train it, you must stretch it, and you must trust it. So here are some ways to sharpen your discernment muscle, okay? The first way that you can do this by daily grounding. Silence before the noise. This is important. This helps me. Every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, sit still. Breathe deeply. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the blood in your veins. Feel the breath in your lungs. Reconnection to your body before the world pulls you outside yourself. Grounding is how you stay plugged in the spirit frequency. Instead of getting hijacked by fear, fantasy, and flattery, the 3Fs. Let me say this again. Grounding is how you stay plugged into spirit's frequency. There goes the F too, right? And in order to stay into spirit's frequency, you want to stay grounded instead of getting hijacked by fear, fantasy, or flattery. Okay? The second thing that you can do, document your inner signals. Excuse me. Dreams, guts, signs. Keep a small journal. You can have it physically or digital, where you track dreams you wake up remembering, gut feelings you get about people, places, and opportunities, signs and synchronicities you notice, numbers, animals, phrases that keep appearing to you. You will start noticing that spirit speaks in patterns, and patterns over time become undeniable. So document your inner signal. Journaling is important, especially this one I love is if you can remember your dreams, go write it down. Those are messages and things, okay? That's what I'm offering. The third thing you're going to do, listen to your body's response. Let me say this one again to everybody. Listen to your body's response. Your body will often know before your mind does. You might get a tight chest. You might get a short breath. You might get knots in your stomach. Restlessness around you, around someone. That's a no. Let me say that again. Listen to your body's response. If your chest gets tight, you get shortness of breath, or your stomach starts knotting up, or you start feeling restless around someone, that's a no. Now, a calm heart, a steady breath, a peaceful presence, even when nothing's perfect. That's a yes. Calm heart, steady breathing, peaceful presence, even when it's not perfect. That is a yes. Our nervous system picks up energy your mind tries to rationalize. Listen to the sacred wisdom that was built into our skin. Okay? Another thing, watch action and not just words. People can say anything to you, right? Anything can come out of anybody's mouth. But you know what? Energy cannot lie for long. Watch. Does their walk match their talk? Do they move with integrity when nobody's watching? Are they consistent over time, not just when being applauded or seen? Alignment is visible. This alignment always leaks out. If you're watching with clear eyes. Let me say that again. Alignment is visible. Disalignment always leaks out if you're watching with clear eyes. Okay. The other thing you want to do, call in clarity before every decision. Call in clarity before you're making a decision, before you commit, before you sign, before you agree. Pause and pray. Meditate. Whatever you do. Simple words have a very powerful effect. Simple words like ancestors, spirit guides, Holy Spirit, show me truth. Reveal what is hidden. Remove the scales from my eyes. Spirit honors consent. But spirit can't reveal what you don't ask for, okay, on clarity. Spirit honors consent, but it can't reveal what you don't ask for on clarity. So what you know what you need to do? You need to ask and be willing to receive it, even if the answer is not what you wanted. Y'all hear that? Spirit's going to reveal to you when you ask for clarity, but you have to ask. So once you ask, you got to be willing to receive the answer, even if it's not what you want to hear, because you asked. Okay. The other thing you want to do, don't override red flags because of hope. This is where so many of us get caught. I'm guilty of as well. We override the warning because the fantasy felt better than the truth. Whew, hold on. We override the warning because the fantasy felt better than the truth. That fantasy felt good, right? We stay in toxic circles because they have potential. We invest in dead projects because I put so much time in already. We trust the charisma, but inconsistent because they're spiritual. We make excuses for energy that spirit clearly told us to release. Boom. This is talking to me right here. We make excuses for energy that spirit clearly told us to release. Now, hope is beautiful, but hope must be anchored to truth, not delusion. Spirit don't lie. Your ego might. Your trauma might. Your loneliness might. But spirit is not confused. Let me say that again to you. Hope is beautiful. Hope is beautiful. It looks so beautiful because when you hope, you got a whole vision, right? But hope must be anchored by truth and not the delusion. Spirit don't lie. Your ego might lie. Your trauma might lie. Your loneliness might lie. But spirit is not confused. Right? Discernment is your spiritual shield. Without it, you're just vibing blind. A light candle with no protection. An open door with no lock. In 2025 and beyond, your ability to see past that surface will be a survival skill. Not because the world is evil, because the world is complex. And because your calling, your peace, your destiny are too precious to be gambled away by illusion. Y'all hear that? So, I'm going to take a break. Y'all take all those vital information on how to strengthen that discernment, to strength to strengthen that muscle, and I'm going to be right back with you. Okay? Right after this message.
I was born with a fire kiss, tongue like truth, breathe like mist. I carry lifetimes in these hips and prayers inside my wrist. They said I'm too much, too wild, too free, but baby I was never meant to be. Quiet, tame, contained, I am so untamed.
Worlds become portals, and the soul evolution, and this is soul. Bless you. What is meant for you
I am
is
so
already in motion.
work slowly.
Let's see where it leads.
Magic in my skin, healing while you hold me.
The cards are just
Say my name, feel the shift begin. Alicia Yeti on soul work within. Soul work within. I read stars with my fingertips, found heaven in the curve of my lips. My voice, the spell you can't forget. I bloom in shadows, no.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys are still with me on this discussion. The final part of Why the Altar Matters, Part 3, the finale. And we're talking about discernment. We just went over some helpful ways of how to strengthen your discernment muscle. I'm going to go over them again right before we end this. Make sure you subscribe to Alicia Dion. She is doing inspirational quotes for you every morning to get you going. Okay? Make sure you check her out. So I want to leave another tool, offer another tool, right, for you guys to use, guys and gals and women. I'm sorry, guys. I get out of the habit of saying that. For you all, kings and queens, to use. And this is going to be a discernment journal, right? So this journal, like I said, it could be digital, it could be a book that you a notebook. You'll be able to get journals at Shamaki Essentials coming up as well. But I want to just talk about this discernment journal before we conclude here. So this could be daily or weekly. So what you're going to do is you could do like a spirit check-in. Where did my spirit, ask questions like, where did my spirit feel tight this week or today? And where did I feel light? So you're checking in, right? You're checking in with your spirit. The other thing that I mentioned, dreams and gut feelings. What signs, what dreams or gut feelings did I experience today or this week? Did I honor them or did I override them? Now, in this journal, be true. Okay, it's your journal, so there's no reason to lie. But be true because it's your true feeling. If you override them, I have had times where I'd be like, I don't want to do that, and I override my feelings, but I am true about that. Review the red flags. Was there a situation where I felt uneasy, but I stayed anyway? And then you're going to ask yourself why. Why did I stay? And then ask, what did Spirit show me in hindsight? Okay. You're going to have actions versus words. Who around me shows consistency between what they say and what they do, and who doesn't? Action versus words. Also in this journal, here goes the big one, ego check. Is there something I want so badly right now that I might be ignoring signs about? Am I listening to spirit or to my fantasy? That's when I said this discernment journal is your truth. So be truthful with it, right? When you're doing this ego check, like you said, like I said, am I listening to spirit or am I back into my fantasy world? And be truthful. In conclusion with this journal, discernment journal, alignment vision. What would I feel like if I fully trust my discernment moving forward without guilt, apology, or delay? Okay. So in your discernment journal, you're going to have the spirit check in. You're going to talk about your dreams and your gut feelings. You're going to do a red flag review, the actions versus the words, your ego check, and your alignment vision. This is all going to be done in your discernment journal. That is the tool that I am offering. Excuse me. So before we conclude this, I wanted to go over again one more time about how to strengthen your discernment muscle. Because I just feel like this is important because it's a lot going on in 2025. And like I stated, I want this to go beyond 2025, using our discernment and sharpening this muscle to go beyond that. So we're going to talk, I'm just going to mention those things again. We talked about it in the journal writing. Don't override red flags before hope. Notice the red flag. You're going to call in clarity before you make every decision. Say a prayer. Help me. Show me the truth. Reveal what is hidden. So remove things from my eyes, the skills from my eyes that I can't see. Ask for clarity. And once you ask for clarity and you receive it, even if the answer is not what you wanted it to be. Okay? Watch actions, not just words. We discussed that too. Listen to your body's presence. If your chest starts getting tight, you start feeling weird around someone, that's a no. Okay? Listen to this gut. The divine gave us this gut feeling right here that it starts not when you're around somebody or a situation. That's a no. When everything's calm and there's steady breathing and it's peaceful, it's not perfect. So don't think it's going to be perfect. But that's a yes. Okay. And also, we are going to document, like I said, with this journal, your dreams, your guts, and your sign, and do a daily grounding, grounding. Silence the noise, even if it was just for 5 minutes. Go outside, take a deep breath. What I like to do, especially if I'm in the park or in a yard, I do take my shoes off and I ground my feet. I love to feel the grass on my feet. If you're on the beach, the sand, just, go ground yourself. Have that moment of silence, okay? So those are the things that I am offering to you today, okay? So I'm going to close with this. Every day you sharpen your discernment, you fortify your spiritual fortress. You move with wisdom instead of desperation. You choose from alignment instead of fear. You recognize family from folk. You hear spirit clearly above the static of the world, and you stop chasing everything that has glitter and gold, baby. You start walking toward what truly glows. Because in this season, this air, this rising, you can't afford to vibe blind. You must move sacred, you must move sharp, and you must move covered. Ashe? All right. So, this is my journey, y'all. My part of the journey home, why the altar still matters. I am concluding my journey today with you, right? And I am passing this journey. Y'all get ready to go on the journey with holistic royalty with KELZ and Madam O, the Val, Madam O. We gonna go over there. The journey is we gonna go on over to them, and we gonna learn some more things about this journey and how it can help us in 2025. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the episode Why the Altar Still Matters. Go back and watch from the beginning if you need to. I talked about why it matters, how to build it, what it consists of, how to take care of. And remember, the altar is in you. You are an altar. And most importantly, what we learned this evening is the power of discernment and how we really need to have discernment in 2025 and beyond. And I hope you found those tools very useful. And I hope that you use them, as I am. Okay? But use your discernment. Okay. Once again, thank you for joining me on my portion of the journey home. Please continue to watch us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because the journey still continues. Okay? Peace and love to everyone. And we'll see you on the next journey home. Have a good evening.
Dear friend, can we talk? You ever hold something inside you so long it starts to rot? The truth ferments in silence. This ain't about closure, it's about honesty. When I do with harmonies, yeah. Dear friend, for the ache I've locked inside for such a long, long time. Dear friend, can we talk before the silence swallows it whole? I need you to know I tried, I cried, I'm here, I'm home. I tried, I cried, I'm here, I'm home. Light extra bleacher, shit a snap or piano, internet delivery. There were nights I wrote you letters, tore them up before the dawn. Pages heavy with forgiveness, but too late to right the wrong. You weren't a villain. Oh, we are gathered in the stillness where the wounds begin to close. No more wandering without witness. Child, it's time to come back home. Oh, welcome home, beloved one. You've been walking, you've been running through the fire, through the unknown.